I'm Mark Seifter.
And I'm Linda Zeiss-Palmer.
And this is Arcane Mark.
Hi, folks, and
welcome
to our first ever experiment with us hosting an actual play.
Arcane Mark plays beta version Port Peril Pub Crawl. If this works out, we might do like a unique content adventure that we ask people about on the Arcane Mark Discord, which is tiny.cc/Arcane Mark. But first, we're going to see, does this sort of setup work? Is this a fun actual play? And we need all of you to be here and judge us. Just judge us on the other side of the screens, just staring and being like, oh, well, I don't know, or yay, this is awesome, or anything in between.
I don't know, like, people are pretty friendly. Like,
That's true.
Even when they're giving constructive criticism, they're not going to be like, judgment.
So this is the replayable quest, Port Peril Pub Crawl by James Case. However, I may feel free to change it from the regular Port Peril Pub Crawl due to the fact that, well, we're not playing a PFS legal version since we only have one GM and one player playing 3 characters, and the GM is playing a PC.
Oh no, Elf's gotten their white wig. Elf,
no.
Uh-oh. Ready for the judging.
You know what? I'd rather it be you than some other people. So, when we're gonna run it, but I might just put something else in there, and if people in the chat have suggestions, or what's the stereotypical thing for Twitch, if you cheer and put in suggestions for the adventure, that I might throw them in and see what happens. But I'm probably not gonna actually throw 3 Terras like I mentioned in the pre-show, because that's just not really, that's probably not even really fun for a first level party. They probably just die instantly.
Yeah. Give them at least some time to survive. So
All
Zathos is asking,
so we're cutting in and out for Zathos. Are we cutting in and out for other people? Because there's definitely a lot of wind in the area here. So if you see us blowing across the screen, then it's not because of the wind.
It's not like when we had all the smoke and like it's literally inside. Okay. Sorry, Zathos. It looks like it's probably on your end.
It's just you. All right. So without further ado, let's introduce the 4 PCs who are going to a pub crawl in Port Peril.
Very well. So let's begin with the 2 that folks might already be familiar with from Roll for Combat.
That's right.
So we have Jahali Kuvuru, who is a Leshy, who is a Leaf Order Druid. She's got her
You notice she just said Leshy first.
I was about to say Leshy Warden, but that's not accurate.
Yeah, she's not a Leshy
She's
Warden.
not a Leshy Warden. We played her, like I said, I played her on Roll for Combat, and I will be representing when I'm playing her with this little delightful cactus friend. Except for if I'm playing her and her familiar at the same time, in which case we need larger and smaller cactus, naturally. The other character...
You could tell Linda did lots of puppet shows when she was little.
The other character that you folks might already have seen on the Roll for Combat stream is the GMPC that Mark's bringing to this game, Lesher.
That's right. Lesher Alan is my Cleric of Shelland, and I will be playing her by not holding anything up, just like all the other characters I'm playing.
Yes.
You'll just have to tell. I do a somewhat different voice for her that is definitely going to be distinctive from all these pirates. Lesher is a Cleric of Shelland from Irisen, who was forced to work gingerbreading up the houses there, but was released when the Iriseni White Witch, who owned her as a slave, released some of the people that she owned when she died. And Lesher is trying to make the world a better place.
When we have, I have Rise of the Runelords Anniversary Edition, which is to represent Eodoran, my character from Rise of the Runelords. He is a universalist wizard and an obsessive academic. There's nothing really better to represent him than a book, because pretty much, like, interpersonal relationships not so much. And he's going to have a lot of the same things that he had in that first edition version, like that classic Hand of the Apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
And then, last but not least,
Linda's first Pathfinder Society character.
My first ever Pathfinder Society character, represented by a handful of coins, because seriously, money and being awesome are the only two things that motivate her. Natani Copperlock, Trade Princess, although I suppose this variant of her is not a Trade Princess.
Well, I don't know. Is there a Trade Princess reward? Because if there's not, then there's no way to be one other than to just say that you are.
Yeah, but she got there, but she got there higher than first level.
That's
so I think
true.
we're winding back the clock a little on her. She grew up poor in the streets of Druma and has been looking for ways to flaunt her wealth and awesomeness ever since. She is a halfling rogue.
All right. So all of these adventurers have been recruited to come on a ship with Venture Captain Calistro Benry. She's a very well-known half-orc venture captain who is the head of the Horizon Hunters, a subgroup within the society, a faction you might even say, that's all about going and exploring and being awesome in general. She Calistro Benry is something of a pirate herself and is a very over-the-top personality. Much like many venture captains, she has recruited you without really explaining anything except like mumble Vidrian needs you, numble come onto the ship. Then had you sit around for days, not spending any time briefing you as the ship continued onward, and then suddenly she called you to a briefing when you were close to reaching your destination at the helm of the ship.
Ah, Captain Benry, do we finally get to the part where I get to tell everyone how awesome I am?
No, she says.
Oh, come on! We've been on this boat for weeks.
Well, that's not what this mission is about.
Well, I'll just have to prove myself.
We do get to the part where you get to find out what the mission is about. Like, that's a good part, right? As a splash of salt crashes over the bow of the glorious payoff and into Nate's face, Calistro Benry deftly steers her ship through a hidden channel, carefully navigating through the barely visible rock and coral that protrudes slightly from the water's surface. You don't think she spun the ship just to make the spray fall into Nate's face.
Messing up my hair, come on!
Behind the payoff, a slightly smaller ship, the Sea Sparkle, follows, making every effort to follow the course as closely as possible. Off the port hull, the deep green of the Garundi coast is illuminated by the late afternoon sun. See those gulls? Benry shouts over the flapping of the sails. That's the sandbar we'll be dropping you off at. Barely sticks up over the waves, but the seabirds flock over it to feast on crab. As I explained earlier, Vidrian, you might have known it as Sargava not that long ago, needs explorers to chart the trade routes to the south that they couldn't use back when it was ruled by Cheliax. Simple enough bit of adventuring, but the new nation's been having trouble with the free captains of late. Turns out that when Vidrian broke free of the Sargavan colonies, well, the locals stopped paying the pirates protection money. There's a whole setup they had. When they broke free of Cheliax, they paid protection money to the pirates to keep them safe. But then when the new country of Vidrian broke free of the country of Sargava, they decided, screw that. What's more, the pirates set up a blockade preventing our ships from making it down to Vidrian to assist. Thankfully, we've got someone on the inside. Stella Fane, a free captain with ties to the Firebrands, that group of loosely oriented freedom fighters who you could join just by saying you're a Firebrand. Also has ties to the Pirate Council, and she's been in contact with the Society. She and members of the Society's leadership have put together a fairly clever plan to help the Society's ships pass through the pirate blockades unharmed. And since I helped make the plan, I'm definitely not biased to say that it's fairly clever. The wind and the waves willing, the payoff and the sparkle can sail to Vidrian, no problem. While we're doing that, I've arranged transfer for you to Port Peril to meet with Fane and get her to sign this contract, making the whole thing official. She may be a pirate, and Port Peril may be the capital of the pirate nation of the Shackles, but she's the kind that holds to her word. You'll need to avoid drawing too much attention until after the deal is done. Once she's signed the contract, her friends in the Pirate Council will ratify it, and there won't be much the lesser captains can do. Be careful. Anyone looking to put a stop to this need only ensure that contract never gets signed.
Excuse me. Venture Captain Bennery.
Yes.
I do believe that, while some members of our group might be confused for pirates... What? Are you looking at me? Are you accusing me of being a thief? Because... Okay, fine. As I was saying, while some members of our group may be confused for pirates, some of us are of a rather more, academic bent, and we might stand out. Do you have any advice for avoiding attracting too much undue notice while, say, still getting to study the intricate cultures cultural exchanges that happen whenever you have people from a variety of different ports all coming together in the same place?
Well...
Setting themselves free from the defined norms?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
But cultural anthropology.
But if you do that, then you are just setting yourself to stand out, just like you said you were going to stand out.
But,
Don't do that. Be more like her. Like you said.
Be more like her? Seriously?
Yeah. Because if you do stand out, that's how you're going to get a knife in your back, and that contract won't be signed. If the Pirate Council wants this not to happen, wants us not to run their blockade, they're going to notice when some sort of off-putting, weird scholars start meeting with their free captains.
Do you think I'll have any trouble blending in? This is the Leshy.
Well, I mean... There are Leshies in Port Peril. Not many, but it's a pretty big city.
Just stay by me. Everyone needs medics. Especially those at sea.
Well, there you go.
I can pose well enough as a ship's surgeon if needed.
So just try to, dress up like pirates and not be obviously noticed.
What about you, Lasser? What's your plan for not standing out quite as much as you otherwise could?
Well, the way that my hair and eyes look, I will stand out no matter what. So I need only not stand out as if I was a member of the Pathfinder Society.
Yes, that's right. Being members of the Pathfinder Society may blow our cover. So that means we should all hide our wayfinders.
I agree.
Maybe I can pose as someone like a ship's navigator.
I can't tell you how many times I've needed to hide my wayfinder.
Perhaps it should tell us something about the reputation of our illustrious organization. No matter. As long as they give us the access to the academic research, I don't much care.
Well, that's very expository of you. All right. Do you have any more questions about Stella Fane and the contract agreement and the meetup? I waited until the last minute just before you were leaving out because that's standard operating procedure.
Yes. Actually, also, excuse me. What is the full text of the contracts that we're giving to her?
Well, it's a long-term trade agreement. We tell her where we've had reports of slavers. She hates them. It's no skin off our backs to let her know. She approaches us first with information she receives regarding archaeological sites and historical discoveries. Our obligation requires us to make the information exchange each time one of our ships passes through the shackles, so attacking a Pathfinder ship is the same as attacking Stella and her allies on the Pirate Council. Smartest deal we've made, if you ask me. Careful with that contract, by the way. It's all magic shut, so only Fane can read and sign it.
It's magic, you'd say. Can I please analyze it?
No.
Aw, but what if I do it on the ship?
Only Fane can read and sign it.
I said analyze, not read and sign.
Yeah, if you analyze it, who knows what's going to happen to the magic.
Well, detect magic is perfectly safe.
Yes, well, Pathfinders, when they say analyze, they're going to analyze the crypt door, like, a couple of minutes and a bottle of rum later, and the door is usually in shambles and smashed onto the ground.
Adventure Captain Bennery, I thought you were in favor of rum. I heard you were a great drinking buddy.
I am in favor of rum. I'm just telling you what usually happens after the rum.
Please drink responsibly, everyone. I don't want anyone passing out from alcohol when we're supposed to be going on a mission.
If you drink too responsibly, they might be able to tell you're not pirates.
Well, just don't pass out, all right?
That's fair. Any other questions?
So we bring her the contract. So we try not to stand out too terribly much, or at least if they stand out too terribly much, I sneak away from the rest of them and do the mission while they're drawing attention. We take the contract, or we take this contract over to this Captain Fane. We get her to sign it, and then we come back here and boast of our great victory.
Sure.
Anything else you need us to do?
Now, Natani, I know that you started in the society many years ago, back when there was always some kind of like secret mission being slipped to you by Pasha Mulia Al-Jakri or whatever. But we don't really do that much anymore with the side missions and the cloak and daggers stuff. We're gonna be on the up and up. There's not anything else.
You want us to? Hey, whoa! You've said we need to go into the pirate port. We need to blend in, and then you said we needed to be on the up and up. Can you make up your mind, Venture Captain?
This is on the up and up for Pathfinders. The point is we're cooperating with all the other Pathfinders.
Gotcha.
This is about as up and up as Pathfinders get, unless they like have snorted too many mushrooms underneath of Augustana and decide to raise an army to fight demons or something like that again.
Snorted too many mushrooms underneath Augustana. Yes, I read that. That was in Pathfinder Chronicle number 62. Sub-volume 13, chapter 7, was it not?
Yes, and I've conflated it with the other Pathfinder Chronicle where there was a giant battle up in the World Wound and they really did start an army. But they weren't really related in any way, except the demons that were in both places.
The details did seem a little bit off, but I figured it might be rude to tell a Venture Captain to her face.
No, I conflated it on purpose to make a point.
This point is very elusive.
Well, perhaps you should think on it for longer, and then the point will no longer elude you.
Yeah, why don't you think on the point the entire time we're there?
Do you need anything else?
No, it looks like our provisions are all in order, so we should be good to go. And you said that although, goodness, I'm afraid with all this bickering I've forgotten. What is the specific location at which we're supposed to meet her?
Well, you are supposed to find her. We don't know where exactly she's going to be because of the fact that we didn't set up an exact time. Just need to figure out where she is, somewhere in the city, track her down, surreptitious-like, and get her to sign it. That's about it.
Very well. Then I believe we are ready to begin the mission. Thank you for your patience.
Well, I have enough patience for the time in between now and when the mission starts. Maybe not for multiple days of questioning. That's why we Venture Captains always wait until the last minute to give a briefing.
Ah, yes, very wise. Otherwise, people might forget the details of the mission and just ask you repeatedly.
That's right. It happens all the time. Especially with some members of the society who seem barely literate. But I like you lot. You seem like you were paying attention. So, let's do this. Head on out, and we'll leave you to wait on the sandbar, and you'll get picked up by the next contact there a little bit later. All right, go on then. Go ahead.
Goodbye.
Farewell. If you blend in well, then I'm sure we will meet again.
A rather unusual test. Hey, put the book away. Just put the book away. But, all right.
Everyone, we must center ourselves toward this mission. Let's wait calmly on the sandbar and use that to be introspective. Look inward and think about yourself and ways that you might stand out and ways that you might avoid that. You must approach this with wisdom and confidence.
Yes. We also better make sure that whoever comes to pick us up on the sandbar is actually who is sent to pick us up and not someone else who thinks we're easy pickings.
The group stands in a few inches of water in the middle of the ocean on a sandbar for about an hour.
Man, this better not be a prank.
Suddenly, a small boat appears, sailed by an elderly dwarven woman. She beckons everyone.
Ah, excuse me.
She's shifting around sacks of shellfish and crab traps to make room on her cramped vessel.
Were you here for a specific reason?
Get on, get on.
Who sent you?
You know who.
Why don't you provide some more detail for that?
Get on. You're the four I'm looking for. Our half-orc friend sent me.
Ah, I see, I understand. Well, my apologies. Well, come on then, everyone.
Come on in.
So they'll all get on the boat.
All right, good. Now sit tight. And she sails her boat in a meandering path to shore along the submerged rock formations, every now and then jumping overboard and freediving for several minutes before reemerging with an oyster, sea urchin, or squid. Yeah, there's a squid, look! Didn't think I'd find such a good squid right here, this close to Port Peril. Don't mind if I do. And she, sticks the squid into some ice.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah. Finally, when the wind dies down along the way, she rows the boat instead. Passing a spare oar out to, let's see. Who in this group actually looks like they have any amount of strength?
Would you prefer my penalty or a +0? Unless the Slayer has strength.
Does Aedorid have any?
Nope.
He was an Eldritch Knight in first edition.
He was an Eldritch.
This one is not.
He was an Eldritch Knight in first edition, but this one is not.
She just passes the oar randomly to someone who doesn't have a penalty. Alright, that's gonna be to Jahali.
Yes, I would be glad to help.
She made me come all the way out of my way to get you. The least you can do is help get everyone to shore.
So, Jahali will do her best to row.
All right.
It's not really something that she has experience with.
So, they're both rowing. What are the other characters doing during this time on the boat?
Well, I mean, normally in a situation like this, Aedorin would pass the time by reading. But he's not supposed to stand out that badly. Mm-hmm. So instead, he is silently categorizing the various fish and other aquatic life that have been caught on the boat by species. Nate is keeping an eye out for trouble.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, it turns out that Nate notices a wooden crate that was barely protruding from a sandbar. But it seems really stuck shut.
Hey, there's a crate over there. Could have something good in it. Am I taking a little pit stop?
So you lift up the crate onto the ship, but it seems really, really stuck open. Dwarf says, "Ugh, don't think I can open this."
Stuck, huh?
Does anyone in the party have athletics?
Oh gosh. That is not their strong point. Let me see if anyone has athletics.
It's almost like rogue, cleric, wizard, and druid might not have been a balanced party.
It's almost like they weren't. No, mine don't have athletics.
Alright, cool. You can't open the crate. Well, that's no good, says the dwarf. You don't even know how much customs they put onto random boxes and treasure chests you try to bring into Port Peril. If we want to sneak anything in, we're going to have to get it out of this box.
Well, is there another way we could open it up? Let's see. Does it sound delicate?
It seems very delicate. But you could try to open it up with untrained athletics with +0.
Alrighty, let me just pull this real quick. I could try to open it up with untrained athletics and +0. I think that, excuse me, I do think that Nate would attempt that. I'm quickly checking to see if any of the spells that Aedoran could reasonably be useful in this particular case. Yeah, things like Acid Splash, like, I guess maybe eventually you could melt away the side of the thing, but you'd probably damage what was inside, and Telekinetic Projectile is rather violent. So yeah, I don't think any of his spells are going to be of too much use in this case. So yeah, Nate's like, come on, Treasure, get out here!
Alright. Isn't she the only one who has a penalty?
Yeah, she can't succeed unless it's pretty easy.
Okay. Do you want to have someone else do it? Does anyone have a crowbar? That helps on checks to force open. Nate might have a crowbar.
Yeah, she does. So,
okay.
So Charlie says,
I'm actually surprised she doesn't have athletics, given how many skills rogues have.
Yes, but unfortunately, I forgot to give her athletics, in part because her strength was just so abysmally low that I wasn't necessarily sure it was going to be useful.
Fair enough.
But she does have the whole pack of tools, so Jahali will give it a shot.
Yeah, maybe it won't destroy anything. You'll open it up.
All right, let's give this a shot.
Okay. All right.
Let's see. And
do you want to use a hero point?
On
Probably
this?
not, but
why don't we just say that I huck it overboard and it breaks?
Jahali just tries. It's a natural 1. So she just tries to use the crowbar, and just the entire wood that makes out of the whole thing just sort of like starts creaking and crashing and smashing, and the whole thing just flies overboard and is destroyed.
Careful, you're gonna break the boat.
And you get to see as it's destroyed, like the smashing of glassware as what looks like rare and valuable liquors and alchemical items and potions just spill into the sea, forever lost.
Well, if anyone thought that I specifically picked characters to be good at this scenario, I did not.
All right.
I just have my first ever PFS character.
And chat was saying just don't roll a 1, and then you rolled a 1.
I've got my first ever PFS character and my first ever Pathfinder home campaign character. And
all
then Jahali, the one that I played on a stream. So this was not selected to be an optimized party.
The dwarf says, well, that's a whole bundle of treasure that just kind of went sinking into the sea. Well, let's get into port. So you arrive in Port Peril around sunset. As you drift into the Crescent Harbor, sailors disembarking for shore remain clearly visible, singing rowdily as they work. Yo ho 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 ho. They don't sing because this is the golden age of piracy from Earth. Clara soon lands at a smaller dock to unload her catch and gestures at Fane's ship in one of the docks, the Risen Albatross.
Understood. Thanks.
Stella and Fane's penchant for riotous nights on the town, once she's returned to port, are well known, and I don't know where the kids go these days. Maybe the harbor master, Stoman Craderos, would have a better idea of where she went after her ship docked and unloaded.
Stoman Craderos. Have I heard of this Stoman Craderos?
It's Sojmin.
Sojmin.
Tsojmin. Everyone can pronounce Sojmin. That's easy to pronounce. That's a simple name. Nate? What kind of a name is that?
No, I don't think I've heard of this Sojmin before.
Alright, well. Good luck. And the dwarf heads off.
So, at this point, I suppose they should try to look around and see if they can find the Sojmen, or perhaps if they do happen to have heard of them before.
Well, they see a bald dwarven bureaucrat checking off tasks in a ledger around in the harbor area who looks like a harbor master, according to this quest.
Oh, well, how convenient. Alright, Bookworm, why don't you sit back and watch how a pro does it? You can take notes later. So,
Alright. So, you head over to the bald dwarven man. Who are you, and why are you bothering me?
Nate, as is her habit, is playing with some coins. And she says, "Oh, well, good afternoon. I heard that you are one of the most knowledgeable people around here."
That may be so, but my knowledge doesn't come for free. I usually only give people information if they give me rare alcohols often found in sea chests.
Rare alcohols often found in sea chests. Well, that's an oddly specific request.
But that's my favorite.
Yes, well, I'm sorry that I might not have any of that on me right now.
How could you not have something like that? You just came from the harbor.
Yes,
Don't most people find things like that as they're just heading through?
Well, that may be so, but the winds of fortune have not smiled upon me in that same way, good sir. So let us find some other way that we can negotiate. Or perhaps if you are not so inclined to give us information so direct and valuable, you can tell us something that is not so significant. Just something that a lot of folks would know about what kinds of places might be good around here for someone who likes to have a party.
Roll diplomacy check.
Let's see, and she is trained in that. And alright, she is trained, so that's going to be a plus. Okay, so 19 modified.
You know why I like you, halfling? I just feel like your sense of style and greed rub me the right way. So I'll tell you what you want to know. You want to know somewhere that you can go drinking?
Yeah, somewhere that a lot of the...
That's like half of the buildings here on the docks.
Yeah,
Do you want somewhere that won't press gang you onto a pirate ship and poison you?
So I'm thinking of...
That's about 6 different bars.
Alright.
It narrows it down from like 100 to 6.
That sounds good.
The other 94 will poison you and press gang you into piracy.
All right. Well, that narrows things well down. Where do some of the experienced pirates like to go?
Well, usually the experienced pirates like to go to either the Watchtower, the Last Catch, or Ravanti's Bar.
Which would you recommend?
Well, that depends on what you're looking for.
Well, which one?
What are you looking for exactly?
Well, I'm looking for she says, well, I'm looking for a place where I might be able to have a good time and meet up with some folks who know, and meet up with some pirates. Potentially see if I might get myself on a crew.
Oh, what kind of pirates? Everywhere you go here, you're going to meet up with some pirates.
All right, well, say, the captain of that fine vessel over there.
Oh, Stella Fane, huh? Well... tonight she's at the Last Catch, a homey tavern on an islet in Crescent Harbor, frequented by local fishers, sailors, divers, and others who spend their days on the sea and are looking for a stop on the way into shore.
Well, that sounds like that's the way the wind's blowing, then.
I guess so.
Thanks for your help.
Are you sure you didn't find any alcohol in like a random sea chest or something?
If I had alcohol in if I had a bunch of nice alcohol in a random sea chest, do you think I'd be looking for somewhere else to throw down my money to get something to drink as opposed to gathering my friends together and getting...
Fair enough. You have a good night, then.
You too, you too.
Lesher says, so, what did you find out from the man?
I know where Stellophane's going to be drinking tonight.
Oh, well, that's good.
And I managed to do it without making it too obvious that I was interested in where she was.
So where are we headed?
Follow me. Watch the pro at work.
Nate leads the party to the last catch. Turning around toward the harbor, the PCs can clearly see that one of the docks leads out to that same small islet. Walking down the dock, they find themselves at an open-air tavern with a large open space facing the sea. Several fishing boats have docked directly at the restaurant, unloading both ingredients and customers. Many of the patrons appear to be amphibious or otherwise from aquatic ancestries, and a few enjoy their drinks while bobbing up and down in the water off the pier. In a corner, Stellophane polishes off an absolutely massive plate of what looks to be fried octopus.
Don't stand out too much, just blend into the background. Don't stand out too much, just blend into the background and observe. Don't stand out too much, just blend into the background.
You're just in time! Like little baby cleaner fish, not knowing that the shark might decide it wants a meal more than sparkling teeth. Let's see what we're dealing with. But first, a toast!
Hey!
Stellophane orders a round of drinks and raises her cup in a toast to calmer seas before throwing it back. The round of drinks come in. Do your characters drink this?
Nate is...
Pirate swell that comes in?
Nate is definitely going to try to drink more than she should probably drink based on her small size.
Okay, roll a fortitude save, Nate. What is that, Nate?
Alright, let me just pull Nate's bonus here.
Probably not great.
That is a modified 15, because she actually has some decent con.
Oh, wow, 15. That's pretty good. So she manages to just barely avoid, like, sputtering or spitting anything out or, like, making a horrible face or something like that. It just looks like she drank it. Like, just barely. She looks like a badass.
That's good. Finally, something with some kick to it.
All right, what about the other PCs?
Aedoran decides that he probably should try not to. This probably should be part of blending in. So naturally, he will try to stomach this.
All right, Lesher's gonna try to blend into. Ooh, she easily succeeded with the natural 18.
All right, so that is going to be a 12.
The elf wizard's delicate constitution causes him to like sputter out and like start coughing.
My apologies.
Like a complete wimp. All right. What about Jahali?
Well,
I mean, she's used to.
She's gonna give it a shot.
FJ customs of like ghost pepper eating contests and things.
She says, all right, I'm in.
Let's see how she does then.
Let's see. Let me grab her bonus really quick.
I'm guessing that she has...
Ungreat. Puss.
She also, the two,
the two elves.
The two elves just can't handle their liquor.
It's very strong.
Stella is impressed by Natani and Lesher's intestinal fortitude. Now, for no like really correlated reason, Lesher and Natani can basically nimble dodge once for this adventure. It's a reaction when you're targeted by an attack roll to add to, although it's actually a status bonus instead of a circumstance bonus for some reason. So if you had a shield up already, it would work together, but if you had like a protection spell, it wouldn't.
Probably should have been circumstanced so well.
But this happens because you didn't look bad when you were drinking the alcohol, I guess. She says, well then, it seems that some of ye can hold your liquor. Let's see. But if we're going to have an agreement with each other, I feel like we should entertain ourselves while we talk business. Don't you think?
Yes, of course, of course. No one wants to sit in a dusty room with a bunch of paperwork poring over every last detail. Isn't that right? Yes, quite.
Quite. Well then, let's all come over for a game of darts, she says. It's Shekels darts.
Oh, how do we play Shekels darts?
It's like any kind of darts, but you can use any kind of means you want to cause those darts to go towards the dartboard.
Any means, you say? So that means that magic is an acceptable means of participating in this competition?
Yes, I was implying that you can use telekinetic projectile spell.
Well, thank you very much.
Now then, while we talk business, we'll see if you can beat me at a game of darts. If you win, then I might just give you that deal we agreed upon previously.
Oh.
If you don't, I'm gonna add more stipulations to it because of how much of a losers you are.
Oh, don't worry, I'll win.
Oh, pretty confident, huh? It's not so easy to beat me at darts.
Well, I look forward to seeing what you got, Captain Fane.
Because in Shackles darts, the challengers have to use a different person throwing darts during each of the rounds. But the defending champion can throw darts all 3 rounds.
Sounds good.
Okay. We'll start with the easy one.
Well, I shouldn't do the easy one. I suppose I could start. Let's see. So in terms of throwing darts, unless you don't happen to have a particularly steady hand, do you, Leshy?
Not particularly.
Very well.
Stella says it's 2 out of 3. So one of ye will sit out and the other 3 will play. Well, unless somehow you can win both of the first 2 rounds, in which case I suppose we wouldn't need to do the 3rd round.
I would still... Yeah, we would, because then I need to prove how awesome I am. And I wouldn't have had a chance to throw yet.
Well, if you really think you're that great, I suppose I could actually try. I was going to go easy on all of you because you look like you're just starting out adventurers.
Nate. Shh. But please forgive my friend. She's,
I was going to throw with my left hand. With my good hand, I'm a lot more accurate at darts.
Nate, come on. What?
What say ye?
Seriously? You're too chicken for a real challenge? Please, Nate, remember why we're here. Fine. We'll start off easy.
Alright. Then, round 1.
Alright. So I just need to throw
Some
something.
of the random people from the bar are paying attention and start putting bets on what's gonna happen. It's like, who's gonna win? Well, Stella Fane's pretty good. Who knows who these people are? Yeah, but she said she's going easy on them. Yeah, but elves are really dexterous. They could probably throw darts really well. And halflings, you know they can throw darts well. That other elf guy said he's gonna use magic. Yeah, but doesn't Stella Fane have magic that she could use to throw things? And they start putting some bets on it.
Alrighty. So, now she said that this could be, does this have to be darts that are thrown, or can this be anything?
No, it has to be darts.
It has to be darts, okay. So, let's see. Darts are simple? Or what category are they in?
Let's find out. I think they are a simple weapon. They are a simple weapon.
Alright, in that case, this is going to be a +6 for Jahali.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You might beat... Stella is going easy on you. You have a better than even chance of beating her on the first round.
Let's see. Focus. Concentrate.
17.
Throw.
That is enough. Not by much, but it is slightly better throw. Huh? Guess I can go a little harder on you for the next one. But I'm still going to use my left hand.
Nice work. Nice work. You did it. You did it.
Looks like you have a little bit of a dart player in ye.
Yes.
Alright, who's throwing second? Aedoran with his telekinetic projectile? Alright. Let's see what you can do, wizard. Or at least I assume you're a wizard because of how you're clutching that book.
Yes, I am indeed a wizard.
Could be a magus, like, raising up a tome and, oh, I'm going to protect myself with my spellbook.
No. I'm afraid that is not particularly my specialty, although I can throw my sword, but that's not part of this contest. This is, after all, a contest of darts, and therefore darts are what must be thrown in this contest, and I'm just going to throw my darts with magic now.
And why don't you do that? Go ahead. You're lucky that you're not having to do all three of these. I hear that wizards like you blow your load after one dart throw, and then you can't go again for another 10 minutes.
Alright, so Hand of the Apprentice is equally accurate to telekinetic projectile, I think?
I think that it is equally accurate.
Alright. Well, he probably still used telekinetic projectile, because that's what she said, is you can use telekinetic projectile, and you can use that as much as you want.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so let's go ahead and give this a throw.
It's a natural 20. Critical hit right into the center. Alright. She says it looks like you've won. But it seems like the halfling really wants to do a final match, so why don't I play for real on this one?
Yes!
Alright. So on this one, Stella throws for real, and it is still not as good as Aedoran's natural 20, but is substantially better than Jahali's 17.
Alright, let's see how well Nate matches up to
Normally a 17 would have been good enough even for the hard round, but not you've convinced her that she's going to show you her true power.
Everybody watching, my name is Nate. I'm awesome. Ready? Yeah!
What did she get in total?
Well, that was a natural 2.
Yeah.
So
Is that a 9? She critically fails against Stella's throw. Wouldn't have it if she wasn't egging Stella on to raise the DC, but she fails so abysmally that everyone in the bar just starts laughing at her.
Oh, come on! That was supposed to be my moment of awesome. Maybe?
Wow, your bark is a lot more than your actual talent.
Maybe you
Stella.
just had a little too much to drink. I did not have a little too much to drink. I am fine, thank you very much.
But you know what? You won 2 out of 3.
Was just providing some extra entertainment. I wasn't really trying.
Okay, you know what? I am impressed, though. Not with you. But everybody other than you. Except maybe that silver-haired wench over there. Who knows what she's doing? She didn't even participate.
You know what? Joe says hero point.
To spend a hero point to not do that.
It's tempting, but I also kind of think her failure in that case
was interesting too.
All right. After how much she built herself up.
She says, "All right, I was considering, like I said, just putting some extra stipulations in here, but you've impressed me, so I'm gonna go with my original agreement to all of you. Here we go. So you come back to the table." And she removes one of her gloves, pricks her finger with a knife, and writes her name in blood. After opening up the contract. There we go.
Thank you very much.
She rolls it back up and hands it to Aedoran, since he had the best shot at darts.
He'll safely tuck it away inside one of his books.
She looks around suspiciously. Never can tell who's watching. The game might have thrown people off, but the free captains have their eyes and ears everywhere. Best to be sure that if these lot remember anything about this night, it's not that they saw us here together conspiring around a contract, eh? She sweeps her hat off her head in an exaggerated bow to bid you farewell, at which point, she extends a leg behind her, tripping a nearby server who drops a plate of exquisitely prepared crab and raw fish, landing across the faces of a nearby table of fishers. The same ones, in fact, who supplied the bounty used to prepare the dish. Enraged at the waste of food and livid with hunger, they lunge from their seats, inciting the rest of the tavern patrons into a raucous fight. And with that, she also uses her last action to activate her Cape of the Mountebank, disappearing in a puff of smoke. So there's now a giant bar fight that is starting out. Those two seaborn fishers are particularly angry at your group and are just going to go after you no matter what. But the rest of the bar fight is indiscriminate. It's attacking all across the bar. Everybody, including the seaborn fishers, by the way, are getting attacked by this bar fight. So let's roll into initiative at this point.
Alrighty.
I feel like nobody in the group was looking around for Stalafane to, like, start a bar fight.
No, nobody was.
Using any kind of... And even if they were, it would still be perception for initiative. So let's roll perception for initiative.
So let's do Adrian on that one and Nate on this one.
Well, Sarah did very, very well.
Jahali on this one.
Ooh, Jahali also did very, very well. That's even very, very better.
Yes.
So, wait, that was Aedoran. So Nate actually got horrible initiative also. All right, cool.
Nate is falling on her face today.
Okay. Well, let's see. I'm sure she beat the bar fight because the bar fight's initiative modifier is like the worst initiative modifier I've ever seen, including oozes. All right.
But it's also the stealth of a bar brawl.
Yes.
So, like...
Well, the bar brawl is going to go at initiative of -5 modified.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, those fishers can probably go before Nate, though, because they're just random, talentless fishermen. And fisher women. Just fishers overall.
Just not at combat.
One of them had talent at rolling a d20.
Oh, there you go. That was a good roll. That was a good roll.
Yep. All right.
All right, so what's our order going to be looking like here? Looks like we're going to get one of those fishers going in first.
What did Jahali's modified amount?
Let me check real quick actually on that, because Jahali's fairly perceptive. She's got a +7, so it's going to be 24.
So the fisher who got a natural 20 goes first. Then Jahali.
So we have Fish A, then we have Jahali,
then
we
Lasser,
have Lasser,
Aedoran. What's Nate's modifier on perception?
Let me just check that real quick. She has as low of wisdom as is naturally possible for a halfling. Naturally, because she's Nate.
So that's 10 wisdom then?
Or,
wait, no, 12.
12 because she has
halflings have a bonus.
All right, so, and then, and then expert.
So she has 6. Okay. Well, so she tied the other fisher and therefore goes after because the tie goes to the fisher. And then last is there's a giant bar brawl.
All right, so
here's the situation. The situation is the whole bar is erupting into chaos. This is represented by like sections of fighting, which you might be able to stop some of the sections of fighting like one by one, which will make those areas safe from being attacked. but not from the random, like, mounting chaos of the brawl. One section, of course, is the section that you all are in at the table that you're at, and the Angry Fishers are a little bit away from the rest of you, but they are close enough that they are in the same section of brawl. Like, to be honest, this is a giant tavern with many sections of the brawl, but there's only really one that is going to be attacking you unless you move a huge amount from where you are right now.
Such as if we were trying to, for example, get out of the brawl?
Oh, yes.
Get out of the bar?
Oh, yes.
Okay, understood.
So, yes, there's the 2 Angry Fishers, and there is the Port Peril bar fight. So, you can attempt to disperse it by attacking the bar fight with damage, or trying to use skills to talk or threaten your way out. But also, you need to probably find a way to stop these fishers.
All right.
Now, they are just basic fishers, which means, of course, that they are aquatic elves with powerful magic abilities. All right.
Yep.
So, let's start with one of these fishers.
Sounds good. One of these fishers.
All right.
Who would you like to attack?
So, let's see. She's been seeing, like, Nate bragging and making a big, a whole big deal about herself, so figures that Nate was probably the one who shoved all of the fish onto the floor.
I mean, fair. You might as well blame Nate if you're not sure who messed something up.
How dare you ruin our fish meal and waste this food? She calls upon the power of the sea.
Rude.
As she does so, water sort of builds along her webbed fingers, building more and more until it forms a stream of water and then shoots out into a, not really consistent enough to be a torrent, but like a big sort of thrust of water and a miniature wave coming directly at Nate. So let's see what happens with that. All right. Nate does a 22 hit. Oh, wait. Sorry. I guess I should have asked you if you wanted to use your your weird random status bonus from drinking alcohol. But it's too late, and also a 22 would have hit you anyway.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough,
does a 22 hit you?
Yes, it does.
I knew it. All right. So you take 13 bludgeoning damage.
Oof.
And are knocked backwards by the power of the water. Now, is it enough to knock you into a different section of the brawl? Just barely. Yes, actually.
There you go.
So they knock you backward into a lower portion of the tavern, closer toward the water, so that if they can knock you back again, if they critically knock you back again, you might fall into the water and drown.
Legit.
They're not really necessarily trying to kill you, but they can at least get you out of the fight if they knock you into the water. A lot of Port Peril fights in bars are meant to be non-lethal, and even NPCs here are going to sort of use the regular death and dying rolls rather than just instantly dying. Even if you use lethal attacks.
That is good to know.
All right. So, now it's Jahali.
All right. Well, that certainly took a turn. So she is going to, let me see what she's got ready here.
Well, I don't know that.
All right. She is going to, I think, zap.
Well, there are two of them, so electric arc will hit them both.
Yeah, I was about to ask how close together they were, and you saw what I was.
They're at the same table. They're at the same table.
There we go. So
you said zap. It's your only thing that can zap.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So
I'll
let's
roll
go
2
ahead
reflex
and
saves,
do
and
that.
you can roll 1 d4 plus 4. All right. Well, I rolled super great. on both of the reflex saves.
Well, I did get maximum damage, so...
Okay. So, I got a 16 and a 17. It looks like their reflexes are not the best.
Mm-hmm.
But, your DC is most likely 17.
It is 17.
1 failure and 1 success.
Yep.
Alright, so... Jahali moves her hands. She gets in touch with the earth, with the sea around, and with the storms that are brewing above.
Rise, force of the storm, and dissuade those who would seek to attack my friends.
Green plant energy comes up within her because of the fact that she's from the leaf order, and so ultimately the way that plants relate to things, the seaweed or spores rising through the storms, and lightning shocks down at both of these random sea elf fishers who can apparently hit like a truck, and one of them takes 8 damage and is nearly dropped instantaneously from that, is barely clinging to consciousness, and the other one is badly hurt as well, even though he manages to avoid it and take only 4.
Gavani, the Leshy familiar, is kind of freaking out about all of this, and so he's going to try to just kind of cling on to her back, and hopefully not get hit by stuff and not participate in this.
She's got 1 action left.
This battle. She is going to, I think, start moving in the general direction of. How far away is she from them at this point? And are they closer to the exit?
They're about 15 feet, and they are close to the exit if you want to leave normally, but if you want to jump out into the water, they're not blocking you from that.
All right, let's move toward the exit, but not necessarily right up and immediately adjacent to them.
Now, there's kind of either a wall in the direction of the exit or them, so you kind of have to go past
I see. So they're in the way.
I mean, they don't completely block the area, so you could just move past them by, like, jumping onto a table or something. There's sort of an aisle, unless you just want to go up into the lower section down where Nate got knocked down, which you could eventually go around.
No, that makes sense. Well,
if you want to go directly to the exit, you either need to go onto their table or into one of their 2 spaces.
Let's go ahead and I don't think I would have had my shield like out and ready.
Okay.
So I'd like to go ahead and start getting that.
So you draw your shield and
draw my shield.
You interact to put it on.
Yeah.
All right. It's not raised, but it is on.
Yeah, but that way I'll be able to raise it on future rounds.
Perfect. Okay. Now it's Lacer's turn. Lacer says, this seems like it's getting out of hand. She looks towards Nate, who's injured and who she might want to heal. She looks towards the giant bar fight, and she decides to try to calm down the people. She's like, listen, please, this is all a misunderstanding. You see, the one who used the whole Cloak of the Mountebank was the one who started this bar brawl. It was not us. No one here who's still in the bar is really responsible for this. And that takes 2 actions, but the section of the bar fight where everyone except Nate is, they see, oh, yeah, where is that lady? Okay, and they seem to calm down and disperse. So that whole section of the bar fight is not going to attack at this point. You're still going to be possibly hit by a different situation that affects the whole bar, but you won't be attacked. And also that means that the sea owls won't get attacked either, because at least the one who was very low from your cantrip might have just been taken out by the bar brawl if Lacer hadn't done that.
Well,
she's not adjacent to Nate, so she can't do a 1-action heal.
Yes.
And Nate is also down in
the little
in a lower section that is a different section.
Yeah, she got knocked down the stairs.
So she might just go. Nate might just come back, so there's no point in going over to Nate. So Lacer is also going to take out her shield.
Sounds good.
All right. Aedoran.
All right. Well, I think that Aedoran is going to... How does he want to attack?
I don't know. Does he also have Electric Arc?
He well might. Let me look at what I gave him. No. He has Acid Splash and Telekinetic Projectile. And, yes, he can do a Reach Shocking Grasp.
That would do a lot of damage.
Let's do that on the one that has not been beaten up yet, because it's probably overkill on that.
So one of them is about to go down. And maybe even the acid splash might be able to be enough. And the other one is hurt, but not as badly hurt.
Sounds good. All right, you know what? Let's telekinetic projectile the injured one.
The one that's very, very injured. And
yeah, the one that's super injured and maybe take him out.
It might be taken out by any amount.
Yes.
Okay. So give it a shot. All right. What did you throw?
Oh, okay. So the reason this is the telekinetic projectile is that I'm pulling my bullseye dart out of the board and I'm redirecting it to go right at that guy.
All right. So this is the female aquatic elf.
I'm right at her.
So yeah, okay. That easily hits. It goes like chunk into her chest, and she screams in horrible pain as she falls over onto the ground dying. But she's not dead because she's using the PC rules. Alright.
Blend in, they said. Isn't this what pirates would do? I think.
He has one action left.
So messy.
Does he have a shield spell or something?
Yes, he's going. That's exactly what he's going to do. You know, this is based off the original Ador, and of course he has cowardly defensive tactics. He casts a shield spell.
Alright. Alright, he puts up his shield spell. Now it's time for the male aquatic elf. He's so angry at the fish and what happened with his dining partner there that he just does not care at all about the fact that you just easily defeated her, and that could have been him being hit by the dart. That would have dropped either of them, really. So he still has his spell.
Yep.
Whereas the other one did not. So he is going to try to use his... Let's see. Should he take out Nate completely? Or should he go after these people with magic who were dealing problems? I think let's take out Nate. She hasn't gone yet. So
sounds good.
He is going to... does she look like really, really on death's door?
Nate is at 3 hit points.
Okay. So, he is also going to use Electric Arc. She may have been knocked back, but it wasn't quite far enough to get out of the range of an Electric Arc from her previously just adjacent companion.
Fair enough.
So, she, let's see, she had gone at the 3rd round. The 2nd round was Aedoran. So, she's going to Electric Arc Nate and Aedoran. So you two roll your reflex saves.
I'm gonna say that Nate is the purple one and Aedoran is the blue one.
Fair enough.
Alright, so for Nate that's gonna be an 18, which might be enough, whereas Aedoran's natural 2 is no.
How much is that?
You're checking to see if I crit fail?
I'm pretty sure you don't crit fail.
I don't think I'd crit fail, so that's a modified 7.
Alright. So, that is going to...
I guess I could have crit failed, but yeah.
They actually have a pretty bad casting stat, so that is going to be 5 damage or 2 on a successful save.
Aha! Nate is at 1 hit point.
And Aedoran got how much? You said 8? That is not a crit fail.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright. And with the last remaining action, the fisher takes the fishing knife that he was about to use to try to dig into the fish and throws it at Nate to try to take away that last remaining hit point.
Legit?
16. Oh, wait. Sorry. I forgot. Would you have wanted to... Give me your 1 hit point.
I would have wanted to use it.
You drunkenly stumble out of the way. What's your AC with a +2?
20.
It misses.
I didn't need it, but I definitely would have spent it because it was my last hit point.
All right, that's his 3rd action. So next after that is Nate.
You think you can take me out that easily, huh?
Yes, he says.
I'm still standing, and I'm gonna show you what I think of all of you. Sounded way cooler in my head. All right. Well, Rogue is a little sad that she does not have anyone to be a sneak attack buddy.
Yeah, there's literally no other melee character in the party.
Like I said, not an optimized group. But nonetheless, she is still a thief rogue. And I will have her go ahead and move up. Move and draw her short sword, move, and do a little sneak stab.
All right, and she moved back into the section that Lesher calmed down the crowd, so she's not in danger of being punched.
So let's go ahead and give her an attack roll with her short sword.
It hits. All right, roll damage. 9 damage.
9 damage.
All right. Well, that could have one-shotted him, and he was already hurt. So you stab the short... Or wait, do you stab or slash? You get to choose.
That's a stab.
Oh, yeah, it looked like a stab.
He threw something at me.
Yeah, you stab the short sword into his chest and withdraw it. He falls to the ground, dying with his companion. And
I'll show you how to use a knife.
You showed him how to use a knife.
Was there help?
All right, so right after this, the bar fight is going to do something. So because of the fact that the sea splashes, a cast ruptures, and a patron with an aquatic ancestor uses water-based abilities, this causes a whole bunch of the area to just get wet. And so everybody might fall. Roll a reflex save to see if you fall.
All right, Nate Adorn.
I'll roll for Lesher. Well,
no.
Double natural 20s.
Yeah.
Oh, they're fine. Lesher critically fails.
And then Jahali will be this one.
Also natural 20. I got a natural 1. So your 3 characters are unaffected, but Lesher fails so badly that she not only trips, but she sort of rolls almost like a barrel of dead fish down the stairs into the lower section and down towards the towards where she could have been pummeled. However, the second action that the bar fight does is the tripping thing, and so that the first action was the pummel, so she's not pummeled this round.
Lesher, I said help me! I'm up here now, not down there!
It's slippery. Not everyone here is an ancestry with great dexterity, she says. And by which I mean all of you are, but not I.
Fine, just get back here.
Alright, so at this point, you have defeated all the people actively attacking you, and other than being tripped, the space that you're in is safe. So, Lesher can easily get back up to the rest of the group, and you can take your time using diplomacy and intimidation to create a safe path before entering into the other areas.
Jahali also has a heal prepared.
Or attacking.
So she could use that to help out with the recovery.
And Lesher has plenty of heals, so, but basically you're in no threat because of the fact that you could just, use damage, diplomacy, or intimidation to clear the next section and then go into that section and you'll make it through. And there's no way without, just randomly going into the sections that look like they're still ruckus or dangerous before calming them down that anyone else could get attacked at this point. So you basically cleared it.
Hey, Bookworm, you didn't lose any of the notes in the shuffle, did you? Adorn checks to make sure that nobody pickpocketed the contract or anything like that during the fight.
Even when he took all that lightning damage, the contract is fine.
Good. I was worried it might have been some diversion.
So you managed to talk your way clear of the bar fight that Fane started, and you make your way back to Hlar's boat at the dock, contract in hand. Back so soon?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was... Jahali says, there was a bit of trouble. Somebody started a giant brawl in the bar we were at, and it just...
No, you don't have to say anything else. Whenever a Pathfinder tells me somebody started a brawl, I know it was you.
It was not my fault! This time!
Looking at Nate.
Not everything is my fault. Maybe I should claim that it was me, because that might sound cooler than what actually happened.
It's probably best to leave after being involved in a brawl of that size, so I guess we're heading out. Let me take you back to that sandbar.
That's right, I started the brawl by being awesome.
That's usually not how brawls start, though maybe how brawl starters describe the start of the brawl.
That's not how the brawl started. That's not accurate information. The Pathfinder Chronicles should remain completely accurate in all of their content so that future generations may better understand. Oh, shut up, Bookworm!
Alright, well, she sighs and rows you back out to the sandbar, leaving you with some dried squid and a jar of fresh water. You stand in these few inches of water uncomfortably. Like, it's not that cold, but still you could have some hypothermia problems from this. Because you're literally left to stand here overnight. You don't get any sleep. For an entire day later, it says. Not like the healthiest situation here, but, you know, whatever. Another commissioned ship travels by. We're here to pick you up.
Great. Nate does not question them this time.
You head onto the ship, and before long, although it is a pretty long journey, you make it back to Absalom, where you are sent to the Chamberlain of the Grand Lodge, Venture Captain Ambrose Velson. And he is sitting there with his very traditional, stereotypical mutton chops. He says, "So, Pathfinders, how did the contract go?"
We have returned completely successful, as we all knew would happen with me on the mission.
Did she agree to the terms she previously agreed to, or try to do that old pirate switcheroo?
Well, she was considering adding some more terms, but we were so amazing that she couldn't possibly help herself.
Well, if you say so, that's good.
Adoran takes out the the contract. Here you are.
Yes. Excellent, excellent. This is very well done.
She started a giant bar brawl right afterwards to create a diversion. Also, I would like you to be informed that that the escape plan for us afterwards involved leaving us standing in a cold sandbar completely overnight without assistance.
Oh, I see.
I think it's possible that Captain Bennery may have been a little bit annoyed by the behavior of some of our comrades on the ship.
Well then, in the spirit of the Pathfinder Society for your amazing work, let me present each of you with these rare, or at least uncommon, archaic wayfinders. He hands them each to you. He says they each have a special inscription if you open it up. You open it up, it says, for only 30 gold pieces, you too can own this archaic wayfinder.
That is an excellent sales pitch, Adventure Captain. Here, give me 5. Give me 5. Come on. Yeah!
He says, that's right. You don't get to keep this archaic wayfinder I gave you unless you pay for it. But also, we're going to give you...
See, everybody, this is why I joined the Pathfinder Society.
In classic Pathfinder tradition, you each gained 3.5 gold pieces, except not, because I heard you didn't find all of the random alcohol that were in trait boxes that you were supposed to. So you get a little bit less than that.
Why is everybody always going on and on about that alcohol we didn't find?
Well, you found it, but you destroyed it. That's even worse somehow. That just shows me that if we send you to an archaeological site, you'll destroy the things there, too.
How do you know what happened out of the sea? Were you spying on us?
Oh, the Pathfinders keep good records. Thanks to Adoran's report that he wrote about the fact that you destroyed the alcohol.
You tattled on us? It was someone's responsibility to provide a complete and accurate recounting of what happened on this mission.
It also said that you failed the dart game and almost caused Stalafane not to go with the original agreement because you goaded her into making it harder.
You shouldn't trust what he says. He lies. I am certain that I am certain that the illustrious steward of the Grand Lodge is quite capable of discerning which of us is more likely to provide correct, accurate, and well-researched notes, regardless of how it may cause us to sound.
Yes, but what I was trying to say is, you only need to go on 9 more missions like this to be able to buy this archaic wayfinder. I just handed it to you, so you know you want to have one.
It's a classic sales technique.
Yeah, so give them back. You can't keep them.
No, here you go. Okay. Here you go. I understand. So, so what was that you were saying about providing me with some more complimentary sales training after this?
Well, I didn't say anything about that, but if you want to if you want to spend some day job time before your next mission, making pitches to Pathfinders who bring in items, taking all the items from them and telling them they can buy them back from the society, we can of course give you a cut.
Sounds great to me.
It's a little bit of a racket because even if there's 4 of them or 6 of them, we still give them the same amount of money.
Well, yeah. That's why you should go in smaller groups to prove you're awesome.
Well, sometimes that can be dangerous if you face one big enemy, though.
It can be, but...
Your group seemed like you did pretty well, even though you had 3 spellcasters and 1 rogue who had no one to flank with.
Yeah, that was... I didn't have anyone to flank with. If I had someone to flank with, that wouldn't have made you do better at the darts contest. Oh, shut up, Bookworm.
Alright, well, you know what? Other than whatever you did to destroy that crate of alcohol, you did a great job. So I'm looking forward to your next mission.
Lasser.
Good work, everyone.
Lasser, my friend, I do hope that our companions on our next mission are a little less at each other's throats.
Yes, well, Shallan teaches us that we must learn to love the beauty that is within each and every one of us. Because you see, if not, then we could not understand the art that each person produces.
Yes, I can see that. And they say that art is a rather subjective matter.
That's right. Let us continue to help others. I'm sure the good people of Vidrian, having thrown off the colonial yoke, will be grateful to have the assistance from the society. Or is it just me, or was Calistro Banry seemed like a bit confused at first and was claiming that they were still under Chalish occupation until she corrected herself?
Perhaps she was a little bit...
There's no way she could have possibly thought that Vidrian was formerly controlled by Cheliax when it was Sargava, rather than it going from Cheliax to a free colony to Vidrian.
Perhaps she had partaken in a bit too much rum.
Maybe she was trying to make sure that we knew that that what she was saying was wrong.
Perhaps.
She seems like she might have a lot of bluster with this. She's very savvy and capable venture captain. Seems like something she would do.
Well, regardless. Seems that we have completed our mission successfully.
Success!
And, well, with a lot less trouble than our last mission that we did together that was in the view of the venture captains, shall we say?
Well, yes. Lasser says, high five, and she gives a high five to the Leshy.
That was scary.
And with that, the mission is complete. So let's say goodbye to YouTube now that the mission is over, and maybe talk to Twitch a little bit about how it went.
Sounds
Bye,
good.
YouTube. See you next
Bye.
time.